Will Islam Makhachev take out featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski at UFC 284? See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
I think I would go with Islam, but I love Volkanovski. But
I think if I was a bet man, I'd probably bet on Islam only because the size really does matter. Islam does cut a lot of weight. I think that he has really good coaches, and I think that he really knows what he's doing. He has his path to victory, and he does a good job, and he's physical and big enough in order to do it. So I think just because of the weight, if they were in the same weight class, I would say Volk. But because it's a weight class difference, I would probably teeter towards Islam.
If I'm going to go with anybody, it's going to be that dude who's, I think, been counted out a little bit most of the time, just with his stature and how short he is. I'm going to go with Volk.
Oh, I 1,000% see Islam winning. I mean, Volkanovski's obviously super tough in his own right, but I think moving up a weight class, and especially against someone like Islam who's so good, I think he's going to have a hard time.
Oh man, Makhachev is something great, man. We saw him finish Oliveira, who was an amazing fighter. I think the difference of weight can be very important in that fight. So Makhachev.
Bonkers, man. That fight's so sick. Islam Makhachev, man, I do not like to think that anybody is unbeatable. But that dude might be the closest thing to it. Like, he's such a savage. He's so good. But with that being said, my boy Volk is freaking, number one pound for pound for a reason, man. I really do. It's crazy that he's 45er coming up to fight probably I would imagine they're contesting for the number one pound for pound position, in this fight. So, I think unfortunately, because I love Volk so much, I think the size and just the size along with the skill level, I think that Islam's going to be a little too much for him. I honestly don't even know in which way. I would imagine it's going to end up somewhere on the ground and Islam just being a little too much. But with that being said, I think Volkanovski has a great advantage with being the shorter fighter because it's going to make it harder to level change and get under Volk's defenses, head, hands, and hips. And I think if anybody has the opportunity to beat this dude, it's gonna be Volk. So again, I think I really can't say how that fight's gonna play out, but I think it's gonna be an amazing one. But if I had to put money on it, I would say Islam's probably gonna find a way to win that one.
Again, solid matchup, and anytime you could toss a coin and make a case for either guy to technically win that fight, that's what makes this sport so exciting. Is that it is so competitive. I can make a case for either one of those guys to win that fight. I think, again, it's going to be tough to call. It's just the way the sport is now. Used to be able to make a lot of predictions, and I think for a while in the old days when I was commentating, I was somewhere in the 90th percentile in calling them right.
Man, Islam's a big guy. I've seen him. I can't remember which fight it was. But he was cornering a guy for Bellator. I think it was when I fought John Salter in St. Louis, maybe. I think that was when it was. But I saw him in the elevator. I'm like, this dude's fucking big guy for 155, and he's a killer. He looks like a killer. And Volkanovski's small, but I mean that dude is very, very good, very, very good. Like I watch a lot of his footage because I actually like a lot of the things he does on the feet. Always feigning, great striking. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think size is definitely going to be in Islam's advantage a little bit, but I think he's going to be surprised with how well Volkanovski can keep the wrestling off. So I think it's not going to be a one-sided thing. I think it's going to be a really close fight, but I could see going either way, But I think Islam does have the advantage on the size. I think Volk has the advantage on the striking, and then I think the grappling might equal out, which would be nice.
If you had to give the edge to someone, would you go Islam just because of the size, like you mentioned, or do you think Volk can pull it off despite the size difference?
I think Volk can pull it off despite the size difference.
I think Islam though, just because when someone breaks that wrestling, we haven't seen a crack in that game. So I'll go with Islam, even though I really have no idea. That's a freaking 50-50 toss-up.
Man, I will never count out Volk. He's one of my favorites. His fight IQ is tremendous, but Islam seems unbeatable by a guy coming up a weight class, even though he's so strong. But the only thing I could see making the difference is Volkanovski's height. He might be hard to get a hold of. He might be hard to shoot in on. And if you get him down, you're not going to step over and bundle his legs like Khabib always famously did, because he's got shorter legs. So it wouldn't shock me, if it was a tough fight either way. But if we were still allowed to bet and I had to bet, I would bet on Islam.
I would have went the other way on that, honestly. I think it'd be a decision, but I gotta go on the other way.
So for Volkanovski,
yeah,
I'm leaning toward Islam. I think he's so big, and Volkanovski, I know he's been heavy and stuff in his life and his career, but it's going to be hard to make up for some of that height. And then just the wrestling, I think the weight is going to really wear on Volkanovski and kind of slow him down. So I definitely think Islam's going to win. It'll probably be like the third or fourth round before we kind of see Volkanovski really start to, succumb to the pressure of the wrestling from Islam. So I'd say probably a TKO we'll go with the third round for Islam.
That's a good fight. I think Makhachev, if for nothing else, then he's bigger, but I obviously the grappling is exceptional. He's extremely hard to hit. I think he has the lowest absorbed striking percentage in the UFC. So I think it's going to be a tough one. He's going to be a tough guy to find, and when you overcommit to him, he is able to tie you up and look for that takedown. Obviously, Volkanovski is going to be hard to hold down, but I think just Makhachev will probably end up taking that one.
Do you know what? It's such an interesting fight because Volkanovski is so technically sound everywhere, but just as Makhachev has been as well. I mean, if you look at his fight against Oliveira, he looked freaking unstoppable in every aspect. So I think with Islam having the size advantage and obviously being so good in all those areas, I really don't see Makhachev losing that fight. I think he'll leave the champion once again.
Great fight. Interesting. I don't want to make it sound like it's going to be easy by any means, but I confidently say Makhachev. I think the way he's going to be able to keep the range and being the bigger man. I mean, everybody was most guys were taller than Volkanovski. Volkanovski's on the shorter end of the featherweights, but I just think Makhachev is just his time right now. I think he's going to be able to keep the range, and I think obviously in the wrestling grappling department, he's much better, and he's much better at implementing it. It's one thing to be able to wrestle, shoot a takedown or whatever maybe, but it's another thing to be able to implement it, and I think Islam Makhachev is going to be better at that against Volkanovski.
I just got asked this not that long ago, and I'm going to go with Volkanovski. They're both amazing athletes, they're both great fighters, but I just like Volkanovski a lot, man. Like he's been a champ for a while. He's familiar with the territory. Islam's a little newer to holding the belt in that sense. I think they both have, they've both proven they have the ability to go a 5-rounder if need be. But I don't see it going a full 5 rounds either.
I think this is gonna be a tough fight for Islam because Volkanovski is a really good striker. He's shorter, but he fight like taller guys really well. He has really good distance, but I think Isla's strength and wrestling is gonna make the difference in this fight. And I think if they grapple a lot, I think Volkanov is gonna get tired, and maybe he's gonna slow down as the fight goes. And I see Isla finishing him, but it's not gonna be easy. But I see Isla finishing him.